This is the Earthwise 24 volt lithium ion 12-inch chainsaw. And as you can see, it's exactly the same chainsaw as the Scotts, down to the T. Only difference, obviously, is the color combinations: green, gray, orange, gray. You know, I had a feeling Scotts didn't make this chainsaw, but my opinion is probably Earthwise is the maker of the Scotts. Now, if you're not familiar with Earthwise, believe it or not, they were one of the first outdoor power equipment lithium ion companies. They were out before Ego. All right, they've been out a long time. If not, you know, one of the first. You know, them and Greenworks probably just about the same time. I actually have a pole saw, and that's a 20 volt pole saw that reaches up to, I think, 13 feet. And, you know, it was absolutely a great tool. Now the battery's kind of going bad, and they don't make replacements. So that's kind of the bad thing about it. But anyway, you got everything on this that the Scotts does, all right? You got the metal teeth here. The kickback bar is really just for show. This does absolutely nothing. Got the same Oregon bar and blade. All right, you got the same chain tightening system as the Scotts here, and they're so similar that the Earthquake will take the Scotts battery, and the Scotts will get this. We'll take the Earthwise battery. All right. So this is basically just a branded chainsaw. Again, most likely Earthquake is the maker of these chainsaws. And this chainsaw was $83. This one was $96. All right. I would go, not only is it, you know, $15 cheaper, the Earthwise, they have a much bigger OPE platform. Again, you're going to save some money. I'm guarantee it's going to cut the same way as this does. We're going to check it out real quick. But, you know, the Scotts has probably 4 tools in it, maybe 5 tops. Earthwise, probably in this 24 volt platform, you know, they might have the same. But again, I think they have a 24 volt pole saw. I think there's a few more. So, you know, you have a chance, and you can look this up. If Earthwise makes certain tools that you might want to get into with this 24 volt platform, go with the Earthwise. It's cheaper, and you're getting the same exact saw. Again, $83 at Amazon. This is $96 at Home Depot. So, you know, to get a full setup, guys. And, you know, I put a little video up on Instagram of the Scotts, and people are like, oh man, that was terrible. That was, you know, cutting that 9-inch piece of oak there. You gotta remember, guys, this is a 12-inch chainsaw. It's not really made for that. This is made for, you know, 4x4s, you know, pruning branches and stuff like that. You know, it's a lithium ion chainsaw, guys. You know, if you have a gas-powered 12-inch, you know, a little bit different, of course. But even that, you're not going to be cutting, you know, huge logs with a 12-inch. But anyway, the whole thing, $83. You get the battery, you get the charger. You know, like I said, if you're going to use this very occasionally, guys, I mean, $83, you got a chainsaw, you know, a tree falls in your yard, you kind of want to trim it up a bit. Maybe if it's a real big one, you can trim it and have a company come in, but it'll be a lot less money because you kind of did some of it. So, and if you got to prune some trees or whatever, or if you have a fireplace, you want to kind of cut some logs and everything, this could be something, you know, to think about. These saws are no worse than the Makita or the DeWalt. And I'll be honest with you, you know, besides not having the kickback, you know, bar there, I mean, they're pretty much the same, guys. Now, obviously, the battery's the issue, only because, you know, this might be the biggest battery you can get. Having a 2.5 amp hour battery that the Earthquake comes with, you know, obviously with the DeWalt and Makita, you got 5 amp hour batteries. You know, with the DeWalt, you can go up to a 12 amp hour battery. So, all right, 83 bucks. Let's check it out. Nine inches. So, much like I said about the Scott's 12-inch chainsaw, this is $15 cheaper, and again, I think it's a great saw for the money. I mean, $83. Again, guys, it's a 12-inch, and on top of that, it's a lithium ion, all right? And really on top of that, it's a 24 volt, all right? So, you know, you're not going to be cutting down trees, you know, 50-foot oak trees and you know, maple trees with this. This is for, you know, small you know, branches, small logs, 4x4s, 2x4s, you know, stuff like that. It's a good little chainsaw, you know, to keep around in the house or in the garage or the shed. But for $83, there's no reason to get the Scott's over this one, unless you really don't like the color green. Again, $83 on Amazon. You do got the Oregon bar, Oregon chain. Like I said, very simple to loosen the bar and chain, to replace the chain if you want to. You got metal teeth on it, like I said, much like the Scott's one, which, you know, definitely a pro. But obviously it's not built to do anything commercial. This is definitely a DIY saw. But again, you know, something, if you want to get a chainsaw and you don't want to break the bank, this should definitely be one you should consider if you don't want to spend, you know, $300-400 on a chainsaw, and you don't need one to cut down big, you know, pieces of wood, you know, maybe break down, like I said, a tree might have fell in your yard. If you want to kind of break that down, you know, you're going to be limited, but you definitely can do some DIY work with this saw. Again, you just saw me cut a 9-inch piece of oak. I can probably do maybe an inch bigger than that, maybe 2 tops, but you know, 10, 11 inches is going to be the max with this saw. So not a bad saw. And you know, another advantage over the Scotts, I think, is the Earthwise platform. Again, I think it's a much bigger platform, so maybe if you do want to invest maybe in their blowers and their trimmers and their hedge trimmers, you get a 2.5 amp hour battery here, and that's, you know, that is the downside. Like I said, you know, the runtime might be an issue with this, with a 2.5 amp hour battery. Now the batteries do charge fairly quickly. This took around 15 minutes to charge out of the box to a full, you know, four bars there. So it'll charge quick, but you know, you're probably going to need 2-3 batteries if you got a big job. And I'm sure you can probably buy these more easily, these batteries, than the Scotts also, but they both work. So if you have a Scotts battery, like I said, it's going to work in this chainsaw. This Earthwise battery is going to work in the Scotts chainsaw. Like I said, I have a pretty good feeling that Earthwise makes these. This is from the Great States Corporation. Makes this, the Great States Corporation. So I'll have to look that up and see what's going on with that. But yeah, guys, not much more I can say. The cheapest chainsaw on Amazon, and it's the cheapest chainsaw on Home Depot. Basically, the green, you're gonna save 15 bucks, but it's the cheapest on Amazon. The Scotts, it's gray and orange. You're gonna pay $15 more for that gray and orange color, and that's the cheapest at Home Depot. And that's for a 12-inch with a kit. So, all right, any comments, questions, let me know.